Freaks, here we go. So I'm going to walk you through this. This is my first appearance on this lawn, and I knew coming in that it had about 10 days growth. Also, it hadn't been trimmed in about a month. So I didn't really, worry too much about that. That's not a big deal for me. First thing, though, I wanted to do was get the edging and stuff done so that I could see where I was at, because you just never know. You might have to pick up stuff along the way. Something might be laying in the yard. You kind of want to get the feel of the place. So I start with the trimming and edging. Had a little trouble there with the string. Now I'm going to lay down a 45 just in case my deck doesn't go all the way over the edge and cut that right. You'll notice when I start up here, I go right to the edge of the landscaping and look for little pebbles and things. You do not want to fling a rock up and bust out a window on your first appearance on a yard. Even if it didn't break the window, it might just hit the house and go bang, and they're like, what's this guy doing out here? Unprofessional, doesn't know anything about lawn care, even though I've cut 25,000 lawns. So there goes somebody on a bicycle back there. Yeah. Now when I edge right along here, I'm making sure the guard is there. So the guard, it's where the rocks or anything that would be there would shoot back against. So it wouldn't fling anything towards the house. Now, when I come along the edge here, everything's normal. It's just a little bit tall. You can see that, there's somebody had not trimmed too good. On the other side, you're really going to see, and I'm going to tell you the story of this in a second here. I reached down in there and pulled out a few more things. That thing right there, it should have been cut down, but I was like, I'm going to leave it. And right here, you can see the guy over there in the yard, the neighbor. He's out mowing, and I'm mowing over here. So, you know what? I'll bet he was pretty happy too, because look at the growth here, right? Compared to his nice, clean, shaven yard. And look at that, a cicada on me. Had to fling it off, keep going. You don't stop, okay? You never stop. You just keep on going. I have to go back and forth a couple times to work it all the way up against the foundation. Now, when you get down here by these air conditioning units, you have to be really careful. Once you've been doing this a long time, it becomes no big deal to you. But on a first appearance, you don't want to hit any of their electrical that goes towards it, any of the piping and the cables, anything up against the house. You're always very cautious, but you don't know what's down in there. Well, right down in there was a big giant thistle, so I went ahead and kind of stomped and hacked on it and tried to get it out of there. And yeah, because I didn't want it coming back, and it looked bad. But as you can see along here, they hadn't been trimming, okay? And that was because the lady had to take over the lawn because her husband had knee surgery. And so he hasn't been able to take care of it, and she was able to push mow the thing, but not trim it. And it became, she wasn't happy with her job of doing that. So she, she put the feelers out for people, and she started calling lawn care people. And this is where I step in. But first, I want to show you some more about this air conditioning unit. Now, homeowners tend to blow stuff into their own, air conditioning units and not realize the problem they're having, because that plugs it up, see? So when I'm trimming along here, some of it flies in there, but see all that brown dried grass? That's caked in there. That's from previous cuts. And, us lawn care providers usually have like chute blockers, or we would at least go the opposite way twice if we had to get that whole area cut so that it didn't blow into the unit, because that will plug up the flow of the air and your unit will overheat and just it will mess it up over time. It struggles to get air through there. So right along in here, I'm just giving myself plenty of room for turnaround. You can't get the mower deck up in there, so I'm just kind of eyeballing things. Again, 45 in it over the edge, because I'm not going to be overlapping with my mower. And then whenever I am going to do a little edge here, I make sure I know exactly which way the trimmer would possibly fling a little rock if it hit one. So the story here is her husband, he takes care of the yard, but he hurt his knee not taking care of the yard, but he hurt it at work and he had surgery, so he's incapacitated for a little while. He can't do any yard work. So she goes ahead and gets the mower out and takes care of it, but she's not happy with the way it looked. I'm assuming she left some clumps. I saw some remnants of things like that, but she also couldn't trim. So she does it again, and it's still not looking any better. And so she decides to make some calls and try and find somebody to take care of it. But she ran into a little problem. Everyone that she called said that they wouldn't take care of it just for like the time being until he gets healthy again. They wanted her to commit to a whole year. A lot of them actually wanted her to sign a contract, which she was very intimidated by. So she kept asking around, and that's where I was recommended. And so, yeah, the freak comes to save the day, because I told her, well, I understand why they're, wanting you to commit to a whole year, but I also understand your situation. Oh, by the way, this happened in 2024. So what you're looking at here is early spring 2024. And I was pretty busy. This is before I got sick. Crazy thing is, even though I had a horrible 2024 and was in and out of the hospital, I still managed to take care of all my lawns and I lost some because of it all, but I also had people come help me maintain my lawns. So yeah, so this is when this is happening, right before all the stuff goes down with me. And so I tell her, well, just give me your address. It was all over the phone. So she texts me her address, and then I look at it on Google, and I send her a screenshot and say, this is your address? This is your house right here in the Google Maps? And she goes, yep, that's it. And I go, okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll come by and take care of it. She goes, how much are you going to charge me? I said, I'm not worried about it right now. Just let me get it done. And I can't guarantee what day, because, there's rain and life and stuff, right? So I said, I'm going to get it done this week, and I'll just take care of it this time, get you under control for free. Don't worry about it. We'll catch up afterward. She said, what do you mean by free? And I told her, well, I'm not going to charge you because I don't know when I can be there. Now, this happened over a weekend. And so I told her it's not going to be Monday or Tuesday for sure. And it's not even looking really solid for Wednesday because I saw rain coming. And then I go, but I guarantee you that I will take care of it this week sometime. And I'm just going to get it back under control for you. Because in my head, I thought it might be 1.5 feet tall and I'd have to make multiple passes. And I don't know how much time I'll even have when I do show up. So I thought maybe I'm just going to sort of get it back under control, have to raise the mower up real high and stuff. But look at the yard, it wasn't that bad, right? So we both kind of lucked out there. I was able to do a really good job the first time, and she got to come home and see a yard that looked like it hadn't been out of control. And so I sent her some before and after pictures, and when she got off work, she replied to me and told me, oh my gosh, it looks so great. Thank you so much. And would I be available to take care of it while her husband's recovering? And I said, well, next week I'll do the same thing. I'll cut it one time at my leisure. Oh, by the way, see all those cicadas flying around out there? 2024 was the year of them. They came out in full force. And at first I was creeped out and running away from them. But after a while, there were so many, they were landing on me, and I just flick them off and keep going. I wasn't used to them, and I wasn't still happy with them, but I dealt with them. Just like everything else in life, you just deal with it. Anyway, I told her that I would come by again next week at my leisure. I don't know which time or day, but I will take care of it again, no charge. I'm just going to maintain it for you for these first couple ones and give you more time to shop around and see if you can find somebody to fit your budget and schedule. She asked how much I would charge, and I said, it is a $40 lawn for me, and that is because I am a solo lawn care provider. I have less overhead, I don't have employees, and this is pretty close to a couple other ones that I take care of. And I go, but don't be surprised if other people are going to charge you $50. And so she kept that in mind and said, thank you, and I can't believe you're going to do it again for free, but that's what I did. Oh, by the way, look at the neighbor over there. He came out and started on his lawn, so I got both sides cutting. I started a trend again. I love it when I get done and then 3 in a row are cut. It's better when I do it, though. There's the finished product, looking good. When I came along the side, the neighbor was out cutting his, so I didn't mess with the area by the air conditioner. He's doing that right now. But everything else, it's going to be just fine, especially for next time, because now I have a little bit of an edge. Things aren't so tall. All right, let's take a look at some before and after pictures. Actually, these are the ones that I sent her. So she got that as a before and that as an after. There's the neighbor over there taking a couple swipes down between those other houses. Yeah, and there's the side here. Looking pretty straggle-daggle on this side, right? I bet that neighbor over there was happy it got mowed because it's looking pretty good there. Yeah, that's where I saw some clumps from last time. Now, when we get around back, you can see there's some brown dried grass on the patio right there from the last time. And I hadn't blown it off yet here, but I cleaned it all up. Yeah, I love a good before and after picture. Heck, I even have some hanging on my walls right next to my kids. My favorite lawn, before and after. That's when you know you're a real lawn freak. Anyway, we're going to jump right into this. This will be my second appearance at the new lawn, right? Yeah, so here we go. We're coming right along, and I'm going to call this my edge because I've already been down here before. This is mine now. I'm claiming the territory, and that's I claim them all right? This is my yard now. They go, no, this is my house. It might be your house, but it's my lawn. So here we go. As a matter of fact, way back in the day when I used to run an ad in the Yellow Pages, which was a type of phone book. Yeah, we had things called phone books back in the old timer days. Well, my ad said, dependable lawn care. We treat your lawn like it's our own. So even back then, I was claiming their lawn as my own. Now you'll notice right here, things are so much easier going along the fence. I didn't have to go all the way down, all the way back, and all the way down again like I did on the first appearance because it's all taken care of already and I just have like 1 week's worth of growth. Same with the air conditioning unit here. I don't have to like dig down there and start ripping out thistles and go behind it and all that. It's all under control already within 1 week. I'm doing a little bit of extra here because I'm making sure I have room for my deck to reach over there and get everything. It kind of needs a little bit more than just a zip down. And along here too, just because I don't like to get close to houses, siding or anything like that. And I always give myself proper turn around room to go into the corners and stuff too. You know, it's like that with any lawn. Once you've been there 2-3 times, it's so much easier. Actually, a little bit later in this video, I do a few extra things on this visit so that I don't have to do them on the next visit. Yeah, so I'm back a third time. I'll explain that too. Now, I'm going along here past this manhole again. There's tree roots and things here where the grass doesn't, grow. That tree in the other yard has put its roots all the way to the surface over here. So I don't want to hit them and I'm going to bump over it if I even went with my tires and stuff. So I just trim the whole area. That way I don't have to even get close to it. And I'm looking at all the little wacky stuff sticking through the fence. Now this time I was able to park more in front of the house, right between the two neighbors here. And yeah, I like doing that. But I did park at the end of the cul-de-sac the first time because it looked like the safest place for me not to get like trapped or plugged up or upset anybody. But see, that's just me on the first appearance. I'm assessing the situation. Now I already feel more comfortable. I'm parking right down the front of the driveway and stuff. So yeah, don't be scared. You kind of get better each time. And you notice I had the chute blocker closed when I came down this direction right here, so I don't blow anything against the air conditioning unit. But you'll see, oh, look at that. No, I didn't want to hit it either. Always be careful. Haste makes waste. If the faster you go, the faster you get done. But you might make a mistake. You go flying along here really fast, and you don't have a whole lot of time to correct things. So, yeah, look at this. I'm splitting the yards. There's my side, and there's their side. You can tell it really good now. I'll go down one more time. There was something I didn't like about that. I think it was this dip. I think I popped a little wheelie right there, and some of the grass didn't get cut. That happens too when you go fast and you hit a bump, your front end pops up, and the grass would be taller in those areas, and you don't like that, right? Yeah, I'm just talking. And I'm not walking and talking, I'm riding and talking. That's my Velkie I stand on. You notice that I'm backing up here off my Velkie so that it doesn't blow and discharge anything against the siding of the house. That's why you see me turn. Sometimes it's because I don't want to blow stuff into the camera. Like right here, I'm always making sure I'm away from it. I had a duck underneath the tree. More on that in a minute. And boy, I'm zipping here. Of course, I sped it up. Wait, I disappeared. What happened to me? I must have saw something I had to do, and I went and did it, and I'm back. Oh, me and my purple shirt. Yeah, always wear a purple shirt. That way the cicadas can find you better. They're not all over me this time, so I'm feeling pretty good. Luckily, those things don't last very long, because if they did, I might be thinking about a new line of work. Who am I kidding? I'm a lifer. Now, as we go back around front here, you'll notice that I keep the chute blocker primarily closed. It's open just enough to prevent anything from blowing away as the deck approaches it. If you have it completely sealed, there's blowout underneath your deck, and it will push like little blades of grass and also any leaves or anything like that away. So I just keep it like that for ventilation. But I have it closed so that it won't throw anything across the street, hit one of those vehicles. It won't put any clippings up into the mulch beds, but these are actually pebble beds. So yeah, I don't have to deal with that too much here. And going back and forth with it on mulch, if it's really tall, you're going to leave clumps and stuff. But this, I've already got to see now what kind of growth I have from week to week. So in 1 week, I was able to go along with the chute blocker closed and cut the lawn, and it looks good. Yeah, look at that. And nothing's flying out all over the place. Yeah, I can handle this lawn. Now I'm going to pull up on the trailer here. It'll be real easy. And did I strap it down? No, I didn't strap anything down. Instead, I was trying to fling stuff off of me. Could have been a cicada, but most likely grass. One thing I've learned, especially in the spring when you're playing with wet grass and you're doing a bunch of lawns, the stuff's flying all over you, sticking to you. Your hands are green from picking up some clumps that fell out from underneath the mowers. And when you get home and you jump in the shower, it looks like somebody is slaughtering a leprechaun in there because it's green water running down the drain. If you've ever seen those movies where it shows the shower scene and it's like blood going down it and everybody's like, oh no. Well, yeah, it looks like a leprechaun has been in your shower. But you know who that is? That's you, the lawn freak. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of here. It's a little weed tree that grew up into the fence line on the other side of the fence. And I don't think they're able to take care of it, obviously, because bouncy ball was stuck in it. I'm pretty tall, but that's a bird. Couldn't reach all the way down there, but got a lot of it out. The reason why I'm going to take this extra time and clear all this out is because I'm going to be here every week now. So at first they couldn't find anybody that would help them out while her husband was in surgery. They wanted a contract signed for the whole year, and I said I would do it for free to help them out. So I've done it twice now, and guess what happened? No contract, but I am getting paid starting next week as a regular. So I'm going to go ahead and chop a few things so that I can fit under here as I'm mowing. So, you see how things work out? It's a funny thing. You do a good deed, and the universe rewards you. The birds are chirping. The cicadas are doing their thing. This will probably stir a few up. Yeah, why not? The bonus to this yard is right back there. You can throw all the brush and debris right into a pile. Leave it on site. All right, it's time for some before and after pictures. From this visit, you can tell it wasn't that tall to begin with, so I like the growth. And I also like that I only have a few things up in the landscape that I'm going to have to trim up and pluck around on to get it under control. But I mean, really, I already trimmed those low hanging branches in the back. I'm good to go for a while. And I ended up cutting this yard for the entire season. I still have it. As a matter of fact, I picked up a lawn right across the street and to the right, a couple houses. You'll see it here in this next picture. It's right, well, it's more like where the cab of my truck is, the one right across the street from that. So yeah, it worked out $40 a week. And also the one across the street is $40 a week. And I can be in and out of there in 1 hour once you get past the spring rush and all the wacky stuff. So yeah, cool deal, huh? I now have 2 lawns right by each other, and it all started from doing a good deed. So don't be scared to do anything, really. Just start doing it. I mean, look, I could even sit around thinking about making a video, but until I actually start the little bitty processes, it's never going to happen. It's all just a dream. It's good to dream, but you got to make things a reality. Don't be scared.